Hi, everyone. My name is Virginia Dwan, also known as Mandarin Mama. I host a podcast called the Noona Army Podcast, where I discuss the particular aspects and challenges of being a middle-aged BTS fan. I'm a freelance writer and the entertainment editor for Mochi Magazine and the founder of Brazen Asian, which is an internet retreat for Asian Pacific Islander, Desi American creatives and influencers. Today's special guest, film composer Chris Wong. So Chris, take it away.
Hi, I'm Chris Wong. I write music for movies, and almost all my movies come out in Vietnam. And I just met a lot of cool friends right out of college who were Vietnamese filmmakers, and they are doing awesome things over there now. And I'm very lucky to get to work with them. So here I am. I'm a BTS newbie. I don't really know their stuff very well, but I guess that's kind of the point because you get my first reaction. And so, yeah, here I am.
All right. And so because Chris is a film composer, I'm asking him to focus mainly on the music, the technicalities of the music, what they do, how they arrange things. If it relates to the lyrics, great. But I'm not asking him to like study the lyrics deeply or any music videos. So what we're going to watch right now is Lie. And it's a solo song. It's on the BTS albums, but they frequently have solos, just like First Love with Suga with his piano and music. So Lie is written by Jimin, and it's I think it's one of the first songs he ever wrote. And it's about how he feels caught in a lie. He feels like he's lying to himself and just how he can't get out. So that's the idea of the song.
Here we go. Was that actually from like an opera somewhere or something?
No. Okay, maybe, I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. It feels very classical to me. Feeling. This is like so cool just in 25 seconds. You start out with this really classical string music, and then you go into this nylon string classical guitar thing. I love classical guitar. Like the drop comes. What the? Okay. Who's the producer? This guy is out of control.
We can look it up.
Okay, so he keeps the classical guitar thing going as like a riff inside the song, but now he's putting mute automation on it, so it sounds like modern R&B pop music.
The producer is Doc Skim.
Okay.
And the producer is Doc Skim. Writer is Doc Skim Sumin. Hitman Bang is the founder of the company, and Jimin and P-Dog.
There's just so many ideas in this already in 30 seconds. Okay.
I think Doc Skim is Korean American. I think Doc Skim is Korean American, but moved back to Korea.
Okay, cool. That's not the key I thought it was going to.
No, it's not.
Okay, Wow. So how is this all working together? This is so it's like got snippets of like 4 different genres that are kind of being collaged together. Okay, let's keep going. This is kind of like blowing my mind. This is really interesting. Okay, so I'm actually looking at the words now, and well, this part's in English, right? The this is so counterintuitive to me, but it works somehow that you would put the word lie on a surprise major chord.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, this is really interesting. Did you hear the string riff that comes in at the end of that phrase? That reminds me of a riff from Billie Jean. Do you hear that?
No.
Do you hear that right there? Right? Sorry.
Okay.
It's from Billie Jean, or was it? Okay, let's keep going.
Billie Jean, the best Michael Jackson song ever.
Oh, nice. So he ends with the classical guitar thing also. So I guess from what I would, there's the thing that strikes me about this, obviously from like a production standpoint, is that there are so many different ideas that seem like they shouldn't work together because they're coming from different places. Like this classical string music in the beginning, or this kind of almost Spanish sounding guitar or classical sounding acoustic guitar, and then the pop beats, and then the surprise shift to major, and that's like and the beat changes there also to almost like it's like an update of like a 50s groove, and so I guess if you wanted to try to tie that in with this whole caught in a lie thing, or this like internal struggle, it's like the it feels like the idea of having all these conflicting things that shouldn't be able to exist in one person, but it do.
Yes.
You see, that's kind of what I'm hearing. And so I'm guessing that's why the producer did this. And it's fascinating to me when like it feels like on paper it shouldn't work, right? But then when you put it together, it works somehow, right? It's one of those things, right? And it, I was a big fan of, well, I can't believe this movie came out. It's like 20 years ago at this point. But do you remember that movie Moulin Rouge?
Yes,
They
yes.
took all these kind of classic American pop songs and they rearranged them and reproduced them
Yeah.
both to fit the story of the movie, but also it's like some of those musical arrangements in that movie are so
The
crazy.
the
Like,
Tango Roxanne. That's the
yeah,
best
yeah,
one.
exactly. So it's doing
Best
something
one.
like that, right? And so it the kind of like audaciousness in the sensibility of that. This kind of reminds me of that. It's this kind of in terms of like the musical direction that they took this. Again, it's like if you explained the concepts to somebody on paper and say, I'm gonna do this, right? People are like, that's gonna be a disaster, right? But then like, but then they do it and somehow it works, right? I think the thing that I think is just really clever from a producing standpoint is, I mean, it's common to sample something from like a faraway genre and then twist it inside the beats. I mean, this is what Kanye West does and a lot of other people. But the way they set up the beat is it's very unpredictable. Like it doesn't give it away how it's going to do it because you get they that
Oh,
that
that's a slide.
so yeah no so that classical guitar thing, the way it's used in most of the song is as it's like a loop that's been cut up, which is kind of it's kind of like a hip way that we produce pop music these days. And I'm not a pop music producer, but I can hear when people do these things. So what so right there, what they're doing, do you hear how the guitar part, it all of a sudden drops out and it cuts back in right there. So if you listen, like on the backbeat. So you see how you hear it, it's in the background, it cuts out, but it cuts out in a very abrupt way. I think they either chop up the sample or they're using mute automation to create that effect.
I just thought they played really fast and then stopped the string right from
No, you see, that's how we would have done that in like the 80s or 90s. And so, but the current style is to take a loop of something and to cut it up like digitally, or to use Pro Tools to create mute automation or in effect automation. So it sounds like really, it sounds almost coolly robotic, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's kind of stylistically what we like to do these days. And but what I like about it is that they could have just started the song like that, but before they get into the meat and bones of it, they give you they actually give you the loop in its natural form before the chorus. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like you're hearing like a recontextualization of it once it gets into the song. So this is like so this is how it sounds naturally. And then once they've chopped it up, it sounds like this. You hear it like right with the beat. That's really creative to me. That's
cool.
That's really creative to me.
Like now that I hear you talk about it, it kind of reinforces why I love it so much. So this is in my top 10, top 12 BTS songs. And it is, I kind of thought BTS was all right. And I liked their music okay. But then I heard this song. And then I heard this channel called React to the K, and it's all classical musicians. I think I've sent you a bunch of their stuff. and they're like classical musician students, and they like when they broke down the song, I was like, yes, this is what it is, right? Because it starts off very dramatic with the strings, and now that you talk about it being on loop, that the guitar part on loop, and how these four genres are fighting against each other. I mean, that's basically the internal conflict, right? They feel caught in something, they're torn, they're being pulled in all these directions, and then like when when the lies you tell yourself get caught in a loop, and it's very frenetic like that, and then I'm really really excited that you caught the of course you caught it, but like the major, how it changes chord from the key from minor to major on the lie, right? Because it's also a lie in the music, right? Because you're expecting, if you're caught in a lie, you feel like it's not supposed to be like a happy sound, right? So he's lying in the song.
It's like he's cherishing the lie, or he's like the lie like a triumph to him, or something like that. Which in times of our lives when we're lying to ourselves, it can feel like that, and so we have to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, this is really fascinating to me. I think this.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you love this. All right. Well, everyone, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.